Hello and welcome back. In this section, we are going to talk about DTMF tones or dual tone multi-frequency tones. So we'll understand how does DTMF works and the basics of DTMF so that once we understand and talk about the digital payment models and the tools, we are able to visualize it easily that how DTMF works in the entire scheme of things. So let us see what is DTMF tone. So DTMF tone is a method to dial telephone numbers or to issue commands to switching systems, and it is widely used for telecommunication signaling between telephone headsets and switching centers. So how does it work? So if you have a feature phone, a smartphone, if you dial in some number, you can hear a tone at the back end. So those are DTMF tones. Each and every key has a unique tone frequency. Each button in the smartphone or a basic phone or a feature phone has creates two tones whenever you press on that. So whenever you listen, for example, if you're on a call with someone and whenever they are dialing in some number, you can easily hear that there are some numbers which are being pressed. So that is what DTMF is. So each and every button on your smartphone, feature phone or landline phone has a potential to create two tones just by pressing it once. So one is a high frequency tone and another is a low frequency tone, and hence it is called dual tone multi-frequency, which means there are two tones which are being generated just by pressing one number. So let us see an image of how does it work. For example, if on a smartphone, feature phone, or say a dial-in phone where you just dial and you just kind of it goes back to the same place, this is the same kind of tone which gets generated. So for example, if you will press 1 on your smartphone, there will be two kind of tones which will be created. Number one will be a low group, and then it will be a high group. So for example, if I'm pressing 1, the low range frequency will be 697 Hertz, and then for the high range frequency it will be 1209. Similarly, if you're pressing 5, the low range frequency will be 770 Hertz, and then a high range frequency will be 1336. Which means if you see here, there is a 2x2 matrix where each button has a unique frequency of high range and a low range. So whenever the person just presses these buttons, either on a feature phone or on a smartphone, there's a decoder. There's a decoder into the smartphone, the feature phone, or at the back end, which just decodes these tones that which number has been pressed. And using this technology, you kind of reach out to any call center when they ask you to press 1 to do certain things. The moment you press 1, the decoder in the mobile phone and also on the switch decodes that, okay, this is the number 1 which has been pressed, because the frequency of a lower hertz is 697 hertz and frequency for the higher range is 1209. So by pressing 1, you create two tones at the same time, and so consider that tone as an instruction to the system that, okay, now I'm pressing 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'm pressing 4, 5, 6. So accordingly, the system will understand. So it is the language or the machine or the decoder to understand and to take your instruction on what you want to do into the system. So that is the basic function of dual tone multi-frequency. There are technical aspects of it, that how do you decide that what kind of numbers will get decoded once you press 1, 2, 3, 4, and what are different permutation and combinations around that. But the purpose of this course is not to talk about technical things, but mostly about the business things. And just to give you an overview, I have shown that how does this dual tone multi-frequency works. And if you are interested more to understand, there are multiple YouTube videos where you can find this, or you can just Google and go in detail if you are a tech loving person. But here I just wanted to give you an overview of how this DTMF works, so that once we start talking about digital payments, you know that once you have pressed your credit card number, how does it work at the back end. So that's all about DTMF tones. In the next section, let us talk about how does IVR works in the digital payment space and what are different types of IVR solutions. So see you in the next section. Till the time, take care and see you there. Thank you.